Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder to some first impressions on the CT-CV 105 HP, and that is a Finnish light tank in the Swedish tech tree as the 2023 Summer Extreme Event non-premium reward. Battle rating 10.0, rank 6, and it fights alongside the same battle rating CV90-105, of which you could oversimplify it. It is the wheeled version of. There are some differences to which I will get in just a moment, but there is an entire lineup, and to be honest, that's a fun tank. And it has a top speed of 100 kilometers per hour, which we will actually use in the next clip or the next battle. And as you can see, it also has a blisteringly fast reload of 5 seconds thanks to an autoloader for its 105mm L50 cannon. That's the full name. And it has a coaxial 50 cal, which we'll see in just a moment in use. That's also nice. With that speed and a horsepower to ton ratio of over 20, thanks to a 550 horsepower strong engine, this thing has some problems getting on the move, but it has decent energy retention, I'd say, if you can call that a trait for a tank. And it can reach its top speed on good terrain, on hard terrain. So it needs a while to get up. So the preferred fighting area are long distances, are big maps. And close quarters, there are so many risks. A person that you don't hear, somebody that just were behind a building when you looked in that direction, and flying Russian tanks, tough to fight. So we killed him. I have no idea where I got shot from. And then, as you can see, it was a T-72AV Turms T, where I just basically couldn't see him. Well, absolutely impossible for me to see. And that's just War Thunder. So let's have a look at this one. And that's Poland. And I love to fight on Poland, at least on the summer version, when you have just the opportunity to flank around the village, which is an accumulation of many buildings. So that is what I like to do. And you can see that we have breached somewhat of the threshold of 65 to 70 kilometers, where you would actually find your top speed with medium terrain. So let's talk about the gun handling, the ammunition. First of all, the gun handling is superb. 10 degrees of gun depression and 42 degrees of gun elevation, coupled with a turret rotation speed, both horizontally and vertically for the gun, of 45.8 degrees per second. That's just really good. That's reaching into SPA territory. And as I said, 5-second reload for 40 rounds of ammunition for the 105mm. And you fire 6 different shells. You could fire them. There is the heat round, 400mm of pen, the hash round, the smoke round, 2 different flavors of AP-FSDS, the better being the DM33, being well known, 408mm of penetration, 1455 meters per second muzzle velocity, really good to lead. And we have the Phalaric 105. Now that is a very interesting ATGM, because it's a tandem warhead with 550mm of penetration going right through era protection. It's beam riding, 370 meters per second of top speed and 5 kilometers range. And the reload of 5 seconds stays the same with this missile being fired from the barrel. That's interesting. There are lots of other tanks that have done an increased reload. So keep that in mind. You have thermal imaging, really good quality for the gunner only. And you have a laser warning receiver alongside the laser rangefinder. You're also a light tank, so you can also have low spawn points coupled with a scout UAV. So overall, a fantastic tank. It also looks good, but all those advantages come at a price. Well, you have paper for armor, 20mm max. And while your vehicle is really spacious, you have only 3 crew members, and while the 2 people in the turret are maximum distance apart, both are at the edge of the turret ring, Yeah, that turret ring gets very easily hit, disabled, and shrapneling still gets both guys. And in your autoloader, you have 10 rounds, one in the chamber, so the rest is at the bottom of the rear end of the hull of the vehicle. So there is still the possibility that APF-SDS goes through your tank and does nothing at all. And you have also the transmission at the bottom, so it's really vulnerable to artillery strike, as is the rest of your tank. And the engine also being at the front, maybe dealing with being able to absorb machine gun fire or 20mm rounds. Overall, it's a fragile beast. It lives and dies by its performance. And yeah, do not try to catch anything or go into a fair fight. Fair fight is for suckers. And I will get critiqued here quite a lot for the quote-unquote spawn camping, but as you could observe, first of all, I was harvesting the enemies at the front line, giving the rest of my team not just the opportunity to catch the cap, but also to take advantageous firing positions. So the enemy team is just left there to be farmed, and this is what the tank is really good at, and I like it. So is this tank a really good candidate for a talisman? Yeah, I think so. Battle rating 10.0, same as the CV90-105. As I said previously, you could exaggerate and say it's just the wheeled version of that tank. The LVRBV701, LVKV94TC, then the STRF94TC, and lots of other tanks that are at this battle rating or below that you can supplement the lineup with. It's just so strong what Sweden has here in its tech tree at around this battle rating. And so a lot of people get really mad at this, and I can fully agree. One advantage that you also have with wheeled vehicles is, as you can observe, you still can somewhat move when 2 out of your 8 wheels are shot. It's not really fast, and you should repair it ASAP, but you still can change position much better than any sort of tank with tracks, right? I really loved to play with this tank, but to be honest, to go a bit into finer detail, it takes a while to get up to speed. And it's also not that maneuverable, like turning on a spot, like a tank can in War Thunder. So I have a turning radius. And the next thing is that the vehicle wobbles a bit. And while you have this amazing top speed, which you could observe at the start to get into this position of 100 kilometers per hour, then at this speed, the stabilizer is not functioning anymore. It gets wobbly at around 60, 65 to 70 kilometers per hour, and you have to take that into account. So you cannot really go like 100 kilometers per hour. And while this top speed is phenomenal, there are other tanks that are even faster. Think about the Centauro, or vehicles that are equally fast, effectively, if you just want to get into a good position, such as the Radkampfwagen 90 or the Class 3P, just to name the German and Italians here. So it's strong, but it gets infinitely better if you use brain. One final notice that I want to make is about the skin that you could obtain, I think for 9 stars, and that is the demonstration camouflage. You have also 4 other camouflages to unlock or purchase for 200 GE each, and they all look good on this tank. I really like the versatility of this tank. The gun elevation, you can also laser range find and target helicopters with the APF-SDS or the heat round, or alternatively you switch to the ATGM, which is strong. I just had the misunfortunate in another couple of battles that I encountered just the vehicles that had the systems, I think it's called Stora, that led to the missile miss because of the guidance being interrupted or disturbed. So much for that. And I think we end it right here and go right to the results because nothing further happens. Again, it's a non-premium vehicle. And that's it for me today. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please give this video a like with it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And we'll see each other on the waves, in the skies, and on the battlefields of War Thunder.